Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan again from CryptoCamacho.com, where each day I bring you the latest tips, tricks, and news in the cryptocurrency market. Guys, I'm super excited today. I have an ICO to review for you that I think is going to be bigger than any ICO that I've reviewed to date. It's one of Charlie Shrem's biggest investments, and he actually said on Twitter that this was his biggest investment in cryptocurrency to date. If you don't know who Charlie Shrem is, he's one of the godfathers of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. He started a company way back when with Eric Voorhees, way back in the day. He's been around the block quite a bit. You should look up his name if you don't know. But the ICO I want to review today, it's called Crowd Machine. Crowd Machine is poised to disrupt the cloud computing industry. If you don't know what cloud computing is, go check out Amazon Web Services, go check out Microsoft Azure. They are some of the biggest businesses in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years of this century. They are some of the biggest businesses, and Crowd Machine is poised to disrupt them from the inside out. What they're doing is very, very exciting, and they're actually building out well, let me get into it here just in a sec. Let's go through it, bit by bit. So here's Crowd Machine's website, right? And they even claim right on their homepage here, we disrupt multi-trillion-dollar industries. And that's crazy. That's a very, very bold claim that they disrupt multi-trillion-dollar industries. And if you look at Amazon, which we can look at here in a second, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, the Internet of Things, Crowd Machine is looking to take them down using blockchain technology to ultimately disrupt the cloud computing space, the app development space, by turning anybody's computer into a hosting service, if you will, for cloud computing. So let's get into this, and let's just see what exactly Crowd Machine is trying to do. Future blockchain apps will be built and run using Crowd Machine. Say goodbye to AWS and Azure, never write code again, and get apps to market 45x faster, right? They're claiming that they're going to enable users to develop apps, use apps, and host apps in the cloud on their Crowd Machine, if you will, 45 times faster than what they can do today, right? Their ICO is not currently open. They do have a private sale going on now. The minimum contribution for the private sale is $100,000, so they're definitely looking for some serious players. Their token sale is going to open up very, very soon. In order to participate in their token sale, you need to register to be whitelisted so that you'll be able to participate in their token sale. If you haven't done this, I highly recommend that you do this now before everything gets crowded, just to make sure that you get on this wait list, so to make sure you get an email when they send out the launch dates of their ICO. You want to be on their list to make sure you're updated for the latest and greatest, right? So again, they're just whitelisting folks right now to participate in the ICO, but they do have a private sale if you do have $100,000 or more that you want to contribute. Okay, so what is Crowd Machine? Let's go into some more of the specifics about what Crowd Machine is. Crowd Machine is an advanced distributed computer. Very interesting, right? How are they going to do that? How are they going to create and build a distributed computer? Think of blockchain. Think of decentralized computing. Think of decentralized apps. Essentially, what they're going to do is they're going to turn basically a network of computers into a super distributed computer to enable all of this to happen. And I'll dig in a little bit more here, but I want to read through this. Embedded within the computer is an app development engine that requires no coding, enabling anyone to create decentralized apps and smart contracts without limitations. And we'll go into how it works here in just a sec. Problems that we solve, and they do give kind of a number of different problems that they solve, but they solve the issue of creating apps, creating smart contracts, and they make it easier for developers to do that. They make it easier for non-developers to do that. So if you're not a developer, you can still create apps with Crowd Machine. What else do they do here? Deploying decentralized apps is tedious, so they enable one-click process to deploy apps, right? Sounds kind of like WordPress when you do a one-click install of any apps that are related to WordPress. It kind of sounds similar to that, but for applications across the cloud, across the internet, right? Again, hosting apps is expensive. Crowd Machine makes it more inexpensive. So AWS did a very good job at this. Looks like Crowd Machine is going to disrupt that and try to bring the cost down even further from where AWS can actually bring it down. So I'm not going to kind of read through all this, but I just wanted to give you kind of a sense. Get paid to be a member of the Crowd Machine community. Crowd Machine is focused on its community. The people who participate with the Crowd Machine technology combine to form the most advanced distributed network and decentralized app technology available today. Community members can be app authors, those that create apps, or app processors, those who use their devices to run apps on the network. Whether an app author or app processor, community members are paid for their participation. So think about this for a second, guys. So they're essentially going to create a distributed, decentralized supercomputer that lives across their network's machines, right? So if you were to participate in this network, you would have a machine or a node or a computer, right, that they would use to do what they're talking about here. And so as they build up their network of computers, of users, right, they're going to be able to host apps on these computers. They're going to be able to pay users that host these apps on their computers, right? And it even says right here, anyone can use their devices, spare capacity to run Crowd Machine decentralized apps and get paid. So you're going to be able to get paid to essentially host other people's apps and to deploy other people's apps across the blockchain cloud that they're going to be building out. Very cool, very, very powerful idea, and I'm very, very excited to see where this goes. So let's dig in a little bit more. They do have a few customers already. GE is one of those customers, which is very, very interesting because I have very close ties to GE. So I do want to dig into that a little bit deeper. Have a lot of press going on about Crowd Machine just because of where they're at. The team is very, very, not the team, the company is very, very new, but the team is solid. Solid heavy hitters in the industry. You can look up their LinkedIn profiles right here if you want to. Sorry, their LinkedIn profiles aren't connected here, but you can look them up on LinkedIn, and you can see, what their background is. So Craig Sperole, he's an experienced CEO and systems engineer, product management, so forth and so on, financial management. So he definitely is a great leader to lead this company forward. I'm not going to go through all of these folks, but you can kind of get an idea if you just look really quick. But the team is solid, the team is big, the team is smart. Have a number of advisors as well internationally and domestically within the US, another good sign. But let's actually now dig into some of the specifics about how Crowd Machine works, how they're going to work, and what they're looking to do. So if you jump over to crowdmachine.com/how-it-works, you're going to see exactly how their solutions work. Crowd Machine consists of a decentralized peer-to-peer networked computer called the Crowd Computer. So instead of crowdfunding, they're going to be creating a crowd computer using a network power, right? They're going to be creating essentially like a supercomputer from the crowd. So they're going to link all these computers together to really create this massive, hosting or cloud-based infrastructure to do all of this that they're talking about here. So keep that in mind, guys. The Crowd Computer is distributed on the Crowd Machine community's mobile devices and computers, where each device on the network functions to execute decentralized apps. So if you think of Amazon, Amazon has AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's all centralized, right? Amazon has the server farms where they have probably hundreds, thousands, if not millions, tens of thousands of computers in their server farms, essentially doing the same thing that Crowd Machine wants to do, but it's all centralized within Amazon's control, within Amazon's server farms across the world, right? And so when we talk about Amazon Web Services, what that basically is, it's essentially probably thousands or tens of thousands, I don't know how many exactly, but thousands of computers linked together in their server farms that provides an infrastructure for other companies to host apps, to deploy apps, to host, files and anything like that, to do programs in the cloud, right? So you don't have to have programs on your machine. You can do them on the cloud. Crowd Machine is taking this the step further, and they're not necessarily building a server farm. What they're doing is they're using individual computers, the users, the end users, which would be you and me, right, if we want to participate. They're using everybody else's machines and computing power to offer very, very similar services that Amazon Web Services offers. They're just doing it in a decentralized way. So there's not going to be a company behind it like Amazon. It's going to live in a decentralized network across the world. Very, very powerful idea. I think it's very, very cool that they're doing this. And it's no surprise that the minimum investment is $100,000 just to get in for the private sale, right? So let's keep going through this. Built into the Crowd Computer is a highly capable blockchain and decentralized app builder technology called the Crowd App Studio. We'll dig into this a little bit more, but you can kind of see a little screenshot here. They're enabling a crowd app builder to enable anybody to build an application. And what they're going to do is they're going to enable people to use and reuse code snippets across this decentralized network so that you can, pick and choose what pieces of the application you want to actually build out. over the long term, I could see this being very, very powerful. Think of like a GitHub, but a GitHub that allows you to build apps, kind of like a puzzle, by grabbing code snippets and building them out into a puzzle, building out your application with existing code. That's very, very powerful. Something like this has never actually been done before, and really hasn't been possible to do until now because of blockchain technology, right? So let's dig in a little bit more. The Crowd App Studio allows developers and non-developers to build decentralized apps that run on the Crowd computer. Crowd App Studio is easy to use. Crowd App Studio is easy to use, functionality rich, and enables the creation of decentralized apps to meet any requirement. Additionally, blockchain smart contracts can create to meet the most demanding requirements, right? Okay. Once your decentralized app is built, it is deployed across the Crowd computer for you and made available to your customers, right? So your app, when you build it, it will be distributed and deployed across the entire network of users, will be accessible to anybody that wants it in whatever region they need to access it by, because of the pure fact that it will live on any one of the computers that are in the network, right? So again, makes it more efficient, makes it faster, makes it easier to access. I mean, the benefits just kind of keep going on and on. The Crowd App Studio has access to CrowdShare, a library of reusable code the community has created. CrowdShare speeds up decentralization, app developed even further. So again, think of this as like a decentralized distributed GitHub, if you're familiar with GitHub at all. Community members can add source code to CrowdShare and be paid for its use every time the code is run on the network. So think of GitHub on steroids. People that use GitHub today, they can store their apps in GitHub, right? They can store their code in GitHub. They can share their code with others. They can, share it around, deploy it however they want in GitHub, but they can't get paid for that, right? Because there's no payment mechanism in GitHub to enable users and code developers to actually get paid or compensated with the code that they're creating and that's being used by other users. Crowd Machine is solving that problem by saying, look, we're going to put everything on the blockchain in this decentralized network so you can store your code in a repository like GitHub, but you can also allow other people, other users, other developers to use that code, and then you will be compensated every time that code is used. Fantastic idea. I mean, this is brilliant. This is a very brilliant idea. GitHub is one of the most popular, coding and software development websites on the net. It's probably the most popular site on the net. Amazon Web Services is probably the most popular cloud computing platform on the net. It has disrupted, gosh, I can't even think of how many industries, thousands of industries. I mean, it has made software as a service a reality and very, very much possible. And that is what Crowd Machine is looking to do, but they're looking to take it to another level. And Amazon, I think, should really, really be scared here. Here's a little diagram of how their CrowdShare library works. And it's just kind of a little diagram. Customers incents app developers to participate in creating a global repository of reusable objects or code, enabling them to monetize their intellectual capital. That's what I was just describing. CrowdShare app developers create app behaviors and place them into CrowdShare when they can be downloaded for use by other app developers or customers. Again, what I was just describing, Crowd Machine holds it. App developers, a percentage of the customer annual payment is made available for payment to the app developers who have contributed to the CrowdShare. So this is essentially kind of crowdfunding development, right? And then it's paying developers over and over and over when their software, when their code is being used in other applications. So it's kind of like a mini blockchain in a blockchain, right? It's enabling people to profit from the code that they build across many applications it may be used in. I mean, this is freaking awesome. I want to buy in on this ICO. It's not ready yet to participate, but I want to buy in when it does, because this is going to go to the moon. I mean, this is going to go bonkers. I know it. Apps can be created using Crowd App Studio and deployed to the cloud computer. Crowd Machine enables off-machine apps to be created that are blockchain agnostic. Okay, so now we went into how it works. Let's look at the project overview. This is just a kind of a quick snapshot of what Crowd Machine is. I want to read a little bit of it because I think it'll help kind of clarify and help you understand what really this company is trying to do. So the problem, the need for software apps is outpacing their creation, while at the same time, device memory and processor capacity remains largely underutilized. think of everybody's computer when they're not using it, right? Underutilized, right? The world needs a new methodology for creating decentralized apps at speed to meet demand. To support those apps, it needs an efficient way to access and utilize distributed power. A report from Vision Mobile estimates that the 300,000 developers contributing to IoT apps in 2014 must grow to nearly 4.5 million developers by 2020. If you add that to the requirement for blockchain and AI developers, as well as sustaining existing legacy apps across all industries, it becomes obvious that there is an insufficient skilled resources to support app creation and sustain engineering demand. The solution: Crowd Machine believes in empowering everyone to create amazing apps. Their vision is to deliver the world's most advanced global app execution network and accelerate the delivery of blockchain and decentralized apps in the ways that I was just describing, right? Crowd Machine harnesses both demand and underutilization of the global processing power with its decentralized app solution. It's creating the crowd computer, which is basically everybody else's computer wrapped into one, a powerful peer-to-peer computational network that leverages global device capacity to power the execution of blockchain and decentralized apps. Woo! This is freaking awesome. I'm so excited about this. Okay, I've already kind of gone through some of this. I won't go through all this. A truly disruptive technology, a combination of providing a powerful decentralized cloud computer with an app development platform that has removed the need to understand how to write code to get apps to the market up to 45 times faster, will change the software industry forever. If they're successful building this out, this is going to completely revolutionize how apps are built, how apps are deployed, how people monetize apps, and how people actually, do cloud computing and run software as a service applications in general, right? Okay, so the token itself, the Crowd Machine Compute Token, CMCT, is an ERC20 standard token, which is based on the Ethereum blockchain, and will have a fixed supply of 2 billion tokens, and be divisible to 8 decimal places. I think the supply is quite high because of the Internet of Things, right? And they're projecting that the Internet of Things is going to really blow out the number of apps that are being built in general across the world, right? So that's why I think that token number is so high. Here's kind of how they're distributing the tokens. And here's just kind of all their social media channels, so forth and so on. So let's keep going. Okay, so anyone could create Crowd Machine decentralized apps and get paid. So this is basically talking about how Crowd Machine is going to create a repository that you can add code into, similar to GitHub, like I was saying. When the source code that you've provided into the crowd share is used by someone else, every time your code is run on the cloud computer, you're paid, like I was saying. So again, a GitHub type of solution that enables developers to get paid for the code that they create. So they're going to disrupt GitHub, right? Without a doubt. They're going to disrupt Amazon Web Services, without a doubt. Those industries are enormous, guys. Okay, CrowdShare also allows you to use anything from CrowdShare that you might find useful in your own apps. You simply download the source code from the CrowdShare and it's ready to go. You can also use the source code from CrowdShare in your other apps for free. So this is going to make building apps even much, much simpler as well, right? Okay, and so I wanted to also talk about kind of how the crowd computer will work itself, right? Because anyone can use their devices to spare capacity to run Crowd Machine decentralized apps and get paid. So another way you could get paid if you're an end user, you have a computer that's not really being used very often, you can put it on this Crowd Machine network and you can get paid for others to host their apps on your machine, right? Crowd Machine combines the global spare processing capacity of mobile devices and computers to create the crowd computer. It's the world's most advanced decentralized app execution network. You can choose to allocate some of your device's spare capacity to participating in the cloud computer and be paid in tokens every time your processor is used to run an app on the network, right? That's very cool. I probably will participate in that as well. The amount of your device or computer's processing capacity allocated to the crowd computer is entirely configurable. So you don't have to use your entire computer's bandwidth and CPU power. You can configure it however you want, right? All right, depending upon the device type you're using to participate, you can choose to function in a number of different types of roles. Each role is paid differently based upon the type of task performed. So they're thinking of a hierarchy structure of how they can enable people to get paid and how much they get paid for utilizing the resources that they're giving up, right? Okay, so what else here? Okay, so here's the white paper, guys. I'm not going to go through all the white paper. I've already explained a lot of how Crowd Machine works. The paper is 47 pages long. I definitely highly recommend you read it. Very, very, very interesting, how they're doing this. Again, I'm just going to look for some nuggets here that you guys may like. Okay, we've already gone. This is one interesting piece though that I want to show you, right? So Gartner predicts that the business value add of blockchain will grow to slightly more than 176 billion by 2025 and will exceed 3.1 trillion by 2030. Woo-wee. We're just getting started, guys. We are just getting started. Okay, so again, I'm not going to go through this white paper because I've already explained a lot how this platform is going to work, but I highly do recommend you go through it. You can read the white paper. You can read, about the actual token sale itself over here. I am going to go open up this token sale, just a little bit here in just a sec. I just need to get this ready. Let me pause this 1 second here. All right, guys, so this paper right here explains how the crowd machine compute token actually works, how, the token is going to be allocated, so forth and so on. But one thing I want you to pay attention here is right here, when the public sale, sale periods. The public sale of CMCT will run for a total of 417 days. The public sale opens on April 1st, 2018. So we have a little bit more than a month before the ICO actually opens, but I want to make you aware of this because I want you to sign up for the whitelist so that you're aware of when the ICO does go live. That's a date that I'm going to be marching towards. I definitely want to participate in this ICO. I will definitely set aside a number of resources, financial resources to do so. To get on the whitelist, again, go to crowdmachine.com. Click on whitelist, and then you're going to get this form here to fill out to actually, get notifications when the ICO will actually go live. If you take a look on Reddit here, Crowd Machine does have a presence. They have a pretty good presence already, considering that they've just started kind of launching their site, starting to gear up for the ICO token sale. They have quite a bit of information here on Reddit that you can read. You can understand what they're doing a little bit better, and you can see the interest level in the platform itself. Also on bitcointalk.org, I will put these links in the show notes here on my YouTube channel. But again, it kind of just explains what the platform is, what they're doing. We have about 12 pages already of enthusiastic investors wanting to learn about what Crowd Machine is, so forth and so on. Again, I'd recommend you go through here and take a look at this a little bit further because it'll give you some insights on what they're trying to do. The FAQ section is also very, very good, and I just want to read a little bit right here, just again before we kind of close out on this. I want to make sure you understand what this is and what the potential opportunity is here. Crowd Machine consists of the Crowd Computer, Crowd App Studio, and Crowd Share. So remember, Crowd Computer is the decentralized network that they're going to be building with computers all across the world. They're not going to have server farms like Amazon Web Services. They're going to be building their server farms using yours and my computers across the globe. Crowd App Studio is their development suite to allow anybody to build applications by using code that exists in their network, in their repositories. People will be able to quickly and easily build applications using their interface, using their building tools to do so. CrowdShare, the last piece, CrowdShare is the ability to be able to share those apps and reuse those apps and get paid to actually reuse those apps or the code that you're using to build those apps. It enables developers to be able to profit from any code that they write that others may be using to run their apps. And again, very, very, very exciting, guys. And then this just goes into, what Crowd App Studio is, what CrowdShare is, so forth and so on. If you want to get it from them, go through and you can read. You can read exactly what it is. CrowdShare is like a GitHub repository, which I've already explained. Crowd Computer, which I've already explained, is like a supercomputer, but it's a peer-to-peer based computer network that they're going to be building out. Again, truly an amazing company. I think an amazing opportunity for those that understand what Crowd Machine is trying to do. If there was one ICO that I would invest in 2018, this is the ICO I would invest in. Obviously, there may be other ICOs that come up, in 2018, and I may have a different opinion on this. But right now, this ICO specifically is definitely probably the one I'm most excited about. There's one other one that I'm going to do a review on that I'm pretty excited about as well. It includes artificial intelligence and building a marketplace and so forth. Pretty excited about that. But this one has power. This is very, very powerful, the concept, the vision that they've laid out here. And I want you guys to be aware of it because the ICO is coming up in April and you need to be aware of this. Leave your comments in the comments here on my YouTube channel. I'd love to know what you think about this. I'd love to know if you think it has potential. I am 100% bullish on Crowd Machine, 100% in. I'm going to save some money to go invest and do that come April. But I couldn't be more excited about this. This is probably the most exciting ICO that I've reviewed to date, guys. Again, I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. If you have not subscribed, please click on that little red button below the video and subscribe for daily updates in the cryptocurrency markets. Sometimes I review tools. Sometimes I teach you how to invest and make more money while trading cryptocurrencies. Either way, I'm going to teach you how to navigate this crazy cryptocurrency revolution that's going on right now. Please leave a comment, guys. Want to know what you guys think of this. I am truly excited about this, and I hope you are too. See you guys. I'll talk to you later.